Please protect us from infection and diseases.
Hello, all educators. Good evening, everyone. I'm Shweta Mishra from DT Nurture, and we are here for an interactive session on maths and ways to teach maths to children in primary classes. And yeah, I'm sure there will be more participants joining in gradually, but to honor the time and respect those who have joined in timely, we'll start the session right away. I have been in education sector since last 14 years and a resource person for pre-primary and primary since so many years at the same time. So somehow I have a little expertise in this block, and today I'll be sharing with you ways to understand maths. So let me just share the screen. And before I start the session, I would request everyone to be a little participative, because right from the starting I'll be throwing up small questions and I need those answers in the chat box. It would be very nice if you all show your interest and response by typing those answers in the chat box. And so let's start understanding Math Wizard. Now you can see this first picture over here, teachers. Can you tell me where is the math in it? Can you identify anything where you can find maths? I wish you can send the
A
answers.
dozen of bananas, we can say.
Sorry?
Ma'am, the number of bananas.
The number of bananas. Fantastic, Meenakshi ma'am. Somebody else? Anything else? Please focus on the other picture as well, where you can see a scene of a mall. Can we find maths in it?
Maybe the shape of the mall.
Yeah, very nice.
What related?
Geometry of the mall. Very nice, very nice. What else?
The number of people in the mall.
The number of people in the mall. Some Miss Apurva has said we can identify various shapes. Very nice. And if we look into the money spent on purchasing things, very nice. This is very interesting. Debosmita ma'am, very nice, very nice. Just one more, one more.
Ascending and descending order.
Ascending and descending order. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Now, just one more thing I would like to bring into your better understanding for higher classes. Can we find certain angles in this picture? There are different angles: acute, obtuse, reflex. There are rays, infinite rays, finite rays. These all things also we can see in the picture. Now let's look at another one. This is going to be a little tricky one. What should come between 3 and 4 to make it bigger than 3 but smaller than 4? What is that one little thing that makes it bigger than 3 but smaller than 4? Anybody? Decimal. Fantastic, ma'am. This is very, very interesting answer, Debosmita ma'am. And it is definitely the decimal.
Yes, 3 point. Fraction number and decimal.
Yeah, and decimal, when we place 3 and 4 together and put a decimal in between, it becomes 3.4, which is more than 3, but less than 4. Let us see one more. Figures with sides have it, but a circle doesn't. What is it?
Corners.
Very interesting. Corners and angles.
Yes.
So this way we can teach the concept of angle with some interesting questions. Another one, this number can be positive or negative, and it starts with I and ends with R. What's
Integer.
it? Integer. Very nice. Because an integer can be negative, non-negative, positive, 0 all by itself. One more. A sphere has 3, a circle has 2, and a point has 0. What is that?
No. Yeah.
What is that thing which a circle has?
Ma'am, dimension.
Dimensions. Very interesting. And just one more. It's neither a circle nor an oval, but it is round. What is it?
Sphere.
Sphere. Fantastic.
No, घास फूस का कुछ
So it
नहीं।
is so interesting to see that you people are interacting and giving very quick answers, very smart people. And as you all know, NEP 2020, the purpose of
Camera guitar class. Papa, how was your guitar class, mom?
Devosmita ma'am, can you mute yourself, please? Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. The purpose of education system is to develop good human beings capable of rational thoughts and actions, and that's why these little questions were kept in between in the starting of this presentation to make you understand. And same way, if you put up the similar questions to the students, they can be good and rational thought-based questions and insight thinking and scientific temper in the children. So this is the way how we can look into NEP 2020 in a simple way. And what is NCF? It is National Curriculum Framework. You all already know this. The guidelines from the Ministry of Education are put up in NCF. And Ministry of Education has released guidelines for teaching and learning is National Curriculum Framework 2023. Now, what are learning outcomes? The competencies, you know that they are attained over a certain period of time. It takes time to become competent in something. But how to see into whether it is going on or not? Therefore, we have to have some interim markers of learning achievements. And these interim markers are called learning outcomes. So learning outcomes are the granular milestones of learning and usually progress in a sequence leading to attainment of competency. And this flow of learning is definitely known to everybody. So I'll just brush through it. Step 1 is aims of education, where we put them up. Step 2, set the curricular goals. Step 3, look into the competencies to be achieved. And step 4, the interim markers of learning outcome. And as we know, we have 5 koshas of learning: the Annamaya kosha, which is the physical body; Pranamaya kosha, the energy; Manomaya kosha, the emotional body; Vijnanamaya kosha, which is the wisdom body; and the last and the highest level of learning is Anandamaya kosha, which is the bliss body. Again, we all are familiar with the Bloom's taxonomy, how learning goes stepwise up in understanding of from lower order thinking skills to higher order thinking skills. So I won't go into details of this because we as educators are very much familiar with this kind of a learning pyramid. So now, teaching strategies. What are the teaching strategies and methodologies of NEP 2020? The main content is, a main objective of it is to reduce the content. Instead of giving this much and just skimming through it, it's better to reduce it and give an in-depth knowledge of it. Then introduce experiential learning. We all know that when we learn better when we do. We can watch many food recipes on YouTube channel, so many interesting ones. But till the time we don't make it in kitchen, we don't remember it, right? It happens with us. Same is the human learning tendency. When we do, we learn. So hands-on learning, art integration, sports integration, education, indoor, outdoor, story-based, telling-based pedagogy, all are to be included in experiential learning. And this policy also says that encourage use of bilingual approach. As educators and as the things used to go on in past, English was considered as the most to be followed language in the class, which becomes the outdoor language for the newcomers or the early learners. So learning was need of the student, but then language used to become a barrier in this. So therefore a bilingual approach is now suggested along with the digital content, which needs to be introduced, because technology is something we need to keep ourselves abreast with. So this digital content can be self or the published content also. Self means you create yourself, publish means there are so many YouTube channels and many contents available in the internet. Now, here I'm sharing certain educational gaming links. I request if you need, you can take a screenshot of these. These are the ready content for your students for pre-primary and primary. turtlediary.com, spellingcity.com, free-learning-tutorial.com, English Maven, and Home Spellings Words. These are some very good websites. They have loads of educational gamings options, and options are available. So please take a screenshot of it and use them when you take your lessons in the class. Now, what are the objectives of teaching maths? Since this session is mainly based on understanding the teaching of maths, let's understand and just brush through what are the objectives. Inciting interest in maths. Numbers were always big hawas for the children in the early days. But now we need to make maths so interesting that it incites interest in the minds of the children. Then we need to introduce activities to teach the concepts. Simple concept of addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, everything can be taught by looking into different activities. Then honing mental math skills, simple mathematics, which is used in everyday life. We need to hone those mental math skills in the children so that they become better maths learner as well as math application based learner. Then relating maths with the surrounding. Definitely, whatever the student learns in the class, in the school, everywhere, it has to be something which has some application with the surrounding. We need to relate maths with the surrounding of the child. And then the subject integration. Yes, no subject should be taught as an independent subject. We need to integrate maths with other streams like language, science, then EVS, so many different things, art. We can integrate maths with different subjects and make it more interesting. And last but not the least is skill development. Math is a skill. It has an application in everyday life. And based on maths, we can develop many skills in students. We'll see gradually when the session progresses. Now, let's just look into the subject integration. Now, how math and language and arts are related. When we talk about story problems, we use storytelling to introduce math concept involving numbers, addition, and subtraction. Then we can also take up math journal, wherein the students should be encouraged to write the reflection of what they have done or how they have made themselves to involve into the solution of a problem. So when the child will tell about how he has solved and write how he has solved, he is actually developing his language, expressing and giving words to whatever is coming in the mind. So this is how we can integrate language. Then let us see how maths and science can be integrated. Measurement activities. Connect maths with science by letting the students measure objects, liquids, and distances, and they can use the tools like rulers, measuring curves, or scales wherever and howsoever it is applicable. Then we also need to look into the patterns, how patterns are available in nature and how they are looking into the symmetry of these natural things like symmetry in leaves, flowers, animal marking. There are so many animals in nature who have got very, very symmetrical patterns on their bodies. So we can relate patterns with the nature. Then let us see something else. Social studies. Maths and social studies can be related as counting and time in history, like counting the historical events and making a timeline of those things, sequencing them and letting them visualize the timeline of history. Then money and economics. Definitely economic concepts can be taught through pretend play like shopping, currency exchange. There are so many options which we can do. Then monuments and geometry. We can show different angles and different geometrical shapes and different concepts of geometry in different monuments which are in our country and around the world. And in higher classes like measuring height with trigonometric principles and Pythagoras theorems like shadow of that monument with the height, angle, those all things can be very easily implemented. Also, we can introduce like town planning with architecture for higher classes. This is just an idea that I'm sharing with you. Now then physical features with maths, how the height of the mountain, the temperature of various things, the pH value, the water and the volume of water, less, more, so many things can be related with maths. Now, what are the benefits of subject integration? This makes learning more engaging and relatable. Children can relate maths with whatever they see in the surrounding. We must have heard of the jokes like where have we implemented sine theta, cos theta that we had learned in our classes. And we probably many a times don't find answers to this. So when we do these subject integrations, they make the subject also more understandable and then they can relate those things around themselves. This makes them not to think as if ki kyun pada. Then encourages critical thinking and problem solving. Definitely. When we make the children understand a concept related to different subjects, they are made to think different and out of the box and come up with unique solution of problems sometimes. This also strengthens the interdisciplinary skills for real life. Interdisciplinary means the different subject, you already know this, and then they can relate every subject with each other. For them, now it's not just the maths class or the science class or the language class. They can make it all in one. Now let us see some examples. Maths and EVS studies, how nature patterns identify symmetry and patterns in leaves, flowers, and animal markings. Data collection, have students count and graph different types of birds and insects that they see in their surrounding and let them come up with their own data interpretation also. Now, how skill development while teaching maths? Like problem solving skills. Definitely when children solve certain problems, they develop this. Introduce word problems that require logical thinking and reasoning. We already do it. That encourage students to explain their thought process when solving problems. Definitely don't give solutions. Ask questions. Whatever the students come up with their opinion regarding any problem, ask them why is it so. Until and unless you don't reach the final. If a student says in this particular given problem, we need to add the two numbers. Ask why add? The child will say something. This is the reason why we should add. Why not subtract? Why not divide? Let them come up with their logical answers, and then they will understand the problem questions more and better. Then use puzzles, riddles, and math game to build strategic thinkings. These are very good brain exercises, and maths is one subject where we can integrate these things very, very nicely. Critical thinking skills, they can be done by asking open-ended questions like, how do you know this answer is correct? They can come up with an answer which is a correct answer, and most likely we as teachers are always in the hurry of saying, very good, correct answer, clap for this child. Instead, ask that child, how do you know this is correct? Or how you find this answer, in which process have you done this question? Definitely, he will come up with his own explanation. Then use real life scenes like shopping and measuring ingredients and those things, and let them say why only this much. For example, when they are measuring, why not something else? What if this ingredient becomes more than the other? These questions will incite critical thinking skills. Then some fine motor skills for the junior schools, definitely they like tracing numbers, drawing shapes, using manipulatives like blocks and beads. They all help in fine motor skills development. Cutting and folding paper to explore geometrical concepts. In pre-primary classes, definitely cutting and pasting is done. And however, in primary classes, we can go a step ahead by putting symmetrical design cuts and make them see the magic of symmetry coming out when they fold and cut the paper in a symmetrical way. Writing numbers neatly to strengthen their head controls. Yes, when the fine motor skills are developed better, their handwriting becomes better, and we need not to break our head with the child saying, beta, improve your handwriting, write neatly. No. Now, creativity and logical thinking, how does this happen? Introduce patterns, symmetry, and puzzles to develop creative problem solving. There are many questions which are many a times picture based. The child need to observe in the picture and solve. Thus, we need to create this kind of creative problem solving in the children to incite creativity and logical thinking. Encourage students to create their own math problem and game. Yes, definitely this can happen. Pair up the students, make their groups, and once some questions are done in the class, let them be given this opportunity to create their own problem questions or math questions or maybe some creative games. And believe me, children come up with very, very interesting questions and games when they are given a chance. Use art integration such as drawing, number-based designs, or origami fractions, anything. Now, how communication skills are developed? Pair the students to discuss the problem and solve them together. They will talk to each other. The noise of useless discussion becomes the sound of constructive work which is being done when we pair the students to solve the problems together. So a talking class now is a good class provided we give them the environment to talk for useful things. Have them present their solutions in front of the class. Definitely this will increase their confidence in presenting themselves in public speaking. Use math journals where they write their explanations. Sometimes the child is not very confident in extempore kind of saying. Make them write what they have felt. Make them write and let them read out. Even this will help them in improving their communication skills. Now, collaboration and social skills, when they do so many things in group, the group work on math projects develops the teamwork. Peer teaching makes the children comfortable talking to their friends and getting more learning from their partner. Interactive board games or digital tools also provide collaborative learning. We have many options of board games nowadays, thanks goodness that the market is flooded with these kinds of board games. Also, there are many digital tools and digital games available in the internet. Please use all of them. Everything, because one concept can be taught to the children in a better way in 5 different repetitive ways. But if we use just one way 5 times, it becomes boring. Use 5 different ways for the same kind of repetition, and that learning becomes more interesting. Confidence and perseverance, let's see. Now we need to praise the effort and encourage a growth mindset. When the child commits a mistake, let it happen. We are also till date learning from mistakes, and give this instinct in the child, better no problem. If you have done something wrong, see what wrong has been done and correct it next time. Mistakes are not to be punished, but to be improved on. Provide scaffold challenges, ensuring gradual improvement. Definitely, a togetherness in the class as a teacher and student creates a better learning environment and a comfortable place where the child finds good way of sitting and learning. Such an environment will definitely help in reducing absenteeism. Children will love to come to school, and then that will give them the confidence and perseverance to perform better. Celebrate small successes in solving math problem. Yes, for a child, even a clap is a big thing. When he does something good, please acknowledge it and appreciate it in class. Skill building lesson plan and worksheet. This is what is needed. We are talking lots of things about how to be done, what to be done. Ultimately, everything lands up upon developing a lesson plan, a skill building lesson plan, and followed by a worksheet. Let's see. We'll have an example over here. For example, the title of the lesson is Building Math Skill with Hands-on Learning. The level is of grade 2, and the objective is to strengthen the students in problem solving, critical thinking, collaboration, and fine motor skills through engaging in maths activity. Now, what we need, the materials needed are number cards. This is just an example that I'm sharing with you. You can create definitely more interesting lesson plans depending on the classes that you take up, the subject, the topic, and the specific skill or the concept that you want to build on. Then manipulative means the things that we need, the raw materials means things that we need. For example, the blocks, the beads, the counters, or even the deck of cards, anything which you need to make your activity interactive. Then we can also use some more things like measuring tape or rulers. Then graph paper sometimes is needed to record repetitive observations and plot it on a graph paper. Then maybe a whiteboard. Now, what activities we can take up? We can take up one activity like problem-solving puzzle. Now, problem-solving puzzles help in, as we all know, problem-solving and logical thinking skills increasing in the children. And see, once I saw a very interesting ad. Once I saw a very interesting ad on television wherein the person was saying, do you know your child is good in maths or not? If you feel he is good, ask him a simple question. Show him a bill of any purchase and ask him what will happen if there is 20% discount on this bill. Will he be able to solve and tell you the answer? If the child will be able to do it, that means he's going on the right path. And why this will happen? If the child is on the right path, it will happen only when we develop as a teacher in the child the problem solving and logical thinking skills. So how? Give students number puzzles where they must find the missing numbers in a pattern. It sounds very easy, missing number in number patterns, but there are many challenging number patterns available in the books, in many books also, and in some brain teasers also present online. Find out those interesting number patterns and let those be given to the children to solve them. Encourage them to explain their reasoning before checking the answer. Always let the child explain how he is getting into that answer, because it can always happen that the child sees somebody else doing the ticking and he also takes up the same tick marks and shows, ma'am, I have done. How he has done, that is to be asked. Then have the students create their own puzzles in the maths class and solve it. Maths puzzles are really interesting. And once the children see it can be done this way, they do it. Let us have another activity. For example, shape art challenge. This develops creativity and fine motor skills. Provide cutout of geometrical shapes, different geometrical shapes, and ask the students to arrange them in a creative design. Now here the child can create one big design, or he can also create a repetitive pattern of a design. This depends on how creative he wants to go ahead with. And if at all the child shows interest, ma'am, can I do my own kind of cut and arrangement kind of a thing? Please let him do it. If there is no time in the class, ask him to get it done at home and show it to you the next day. Discuss symmetry and patterns while they create the artwork. Whatever the pattern the child is setting, ask him which kind of symmetry he is following and what is the thing that he is creating in this. Have the students measure sides and classify the shapes into different categories. Another example of an activity is a maths relay race. This we can do probably in all the classes, depending on the kind of math problem we want to give. How? Divide the students into small groups and set up a relay race challenge. Like, for example, one set of students standing on the start position, another set standing on the maybe some footsteps ahead, another one. Maybe we can prepare a set of 3 to 4 relay places. Now, the thing will be each team must solve a math question before passing the baton. At every level, at every barrier where they're standing, they need to solve a question and pass the baton only after when they have solved the question. And then accordingly discuss the teamwork strategies after the race, what made them do fast, what worked, whether the answers were correct, which team did all the correct answers, and how did they find the way to solve it fast and win the race. Now, after everything is done, the biggest thing to do is assessment. Until now, it was test, marks, report card, percentage, position, done. However, now the assessment has gone a step ahead. We need to observe the students' reasoning and participation in discussion. Not every student can be a topper, but many students can be very good observers and applicators of maths and other subjects in their everyday life. We need to find out those students. Ask the students to reflect upon their problem-solving strategies in a math journal. Again, not everybody can be a good speaker, but there are many who can become good writers. Let them write the ways of solving their question by themselves. Now, here is another example of a worksheet. It's a fun math skill building worksheet. We can write, leave up space for the name and date to be written. Then there are certain questions which we can put up of different parts of maths. Like, for example, first can be the puzzle. Here is an example of a missing pattern. You can create any other interesting way of doing it. Then the other part or other section can be related to shapes and art, which is geometry. create a picture using the following shapes: triangles, two square, one rectangle. You can put up any other thing related to geometry, but something interesting, something creative. Then maths relay reflection. Which strategy did the team use to solve the problem quickly, and how did the teamwork help in solving? These worksheets can be given in pairs. These can be given in groups. And if at all you feel that you need to find out the individual solving skill, they can be given as individual worksheets also. But how to teach maths with activities? We have just one period a day and lots of syllabus to be covered. It is a challenge, but then we as teachers are made to solve these challenges very easily. So different learning modes we need to adopt in school. Now, how first the recap of previous learning. For example, if it is multiplication. So for multiplication, say this is for class 2, we can show the repetitive addition on a number line to recap what they have learned about multiplication in class 1. So in the first class of multiplication in class 2, we can do the recap by this activity. Again, we can let the children make their own number line of 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 tables, again in the same way, so that we can look into whether the students have really understood or not. Same way for another higher classes, 3, 4, 5, maybe this can be the measurement. For the measurement, we can have this kind of picture wherein they can use the ruler or a ruler made in the side of the picture to see into what is plus, what is minus, and how the height is in minus or plus. Now let's see some of the examples of mental maths. Here I would like the teachers to help me solve this question of mental maths. Sonu and Monu are talking. Sonu says, I have rupees 100, but not a rupee 100 note. Monu asks, so what do you have then? Sonu says, I have 100 in the form of 5 currency notes. Can you guess what do I have? Now this question is of class 3 level mental maths in money. Can I have the answers in the chat box, please? Let me see the mental maths thing coming up. Okay, 20 notes of rupees. 20 notes of rupees. Yeah, 20 is correct. Again, see, when we as a teachers are committing these silly errors, the students are definitely going to do it. 5 notes of rupees 20. Yes, Shalika Agarwal ma'am, you are definitely correct. We need to be very specific in answering. 5 notes of rupees 20. This is what that child is having. Very good. Now there's again very small questions based on angles. Can you guess which angle is made while kicking the ball? Teachers, please give me the correct answer. Which angle is made while kicking the ball? A is acute, B is obtuse. Then C is... Yeah, I'm waiting for the answer. What is the correct option? Which angle is made while acute? Yeah. Normally it is acute until and unless it is messy. It can go anywhere. Yeah. Turning a bottle cap. Which angle is made? A acute, B obtuse, C right, D reflex. When we turn a bottle cap, which angle is made? Acute. It can be acute when we do it like this. If we do it like this with a greater angle, it can be 90 degree also. And if somebody is very innovative in this, it can do it obtuse also. Good. Depends on, see, such questions should be solved with a demo. Well, now, which angle is made when opening the door fully? Which angle is made when the door is opened fully? And let me add, it is a single door, not a double door. Right angle. Very good. Very good, Shalika ma'am. Then, which angle is made by using stapler? Stapler. Which angle is in stapler? Acute. Devasmita ma'am. Very nice. So it is. So if we as teachers are able to think so interestingly, ask the child and he will show his interest to the next level. Exploring numbers and the importance around us, let us do one of this. Can we do this in class with the children? Such very simple one for class 1. Ask your mother to call the cost of your pencil box and the cost of your socks and tell the cost of, and add to tell the cost of both. Can we do this with the children in the class? Yes, definitely. Same way, experiential learning can be done like take a measuring tape. You will observe a unit, Take a measuring tape, you'll observe a unit of measuring length called inch. Find out by measuring a full length of pencil in centimeters and inches and calculate how many centimeters make up an inch. This can be done in a little higher classes. Now, through critical thinking activities, how this I want teachers to please come up with the answers. It is related to the percentage for class 5. Find the odd one out. A, B, C, and D. Which one is the odd one out? Please tell me. Critical thinking, odd one out, A, B, C, and D. Now D, why D? Why not C? Yeah, very nice, very nice. Teachers are participating, very nice. But why D? Why not C? Why not C? So why D? Why D? Somebody. It represents 75. And what does C represent? Oh, somebody says A, somebody says C. Yeah, somebody says A, somebody says C. So many of you are saying D. And just to make it short, the answer is D because somebody has already said that it represents 75. Shalika ma'am. Yeah, it is 75% and rest all are 50%. So therefore, D is the correct answer. Very good. Now let us see something else. Another critical thinking of class 4 level, Savita worked in a cottage industry that manufactured detergent powder. Her job was to check the weight of 2 kg detergent bags. Now from here the problem starts. She found that the second bag was 0.435 grams less than 2 kg. The first bag had 0.329 grams more than the second bag. And the third bag had 0.155 gram less than the second bag. Can you find the weight of each bag? This might take some time, but I'm sure you can do it. Very, very simple, basic calculation for class 4. What is the weight of the first bag, second bag, and the third bag? Take some 10 seconds time. The units are not equal. The units are not equal. Okay, you are talking about the other one. The previous question. Yeah, Devasmita ma'am. It's okay. Correct. Yeah. So, can I have answer for this critical thinking question? The weight of all the bags, all the 3 bags? Yeah, I'm waiting for the first answer. I'm repeating the question. Savita worked in a cottage industry that manufactured detergent powder. Her job was to take the weight of 2 kg detergent bags. She found that the second bag was 0.435 grams less than 2 kg. The first bag had 0.329 grams more than the second bag, and the third bag had 0.155 grams less than the second bag. Find the weight of each bag. I think somebody has sent the answer. First is 0.1894. So, oh my God, that's great. Shalika ma'am, you are rocking. I am getting all the good answers from you. Very well done. Very well done. Great. So let's have the next one. Oh, here comes another one. Here comes another one. Ashish was flying from Kolkata to Bangalore. Sorry, Anna had winter vacation which started from 15th December to the end of February. If that year was a leap year, how many days holiday did she get? Again, I need an answer. I need one answer, please. Okay, Meenakshi ma'am has also sent the answer. I wish you can please revise your answer, ma'am. However, let us now try to solve the other one. Anna had winter vacation which started from 15 December to the end of February. If that year was a leap year, how many days? 11:30 p.m. Acha, you have solved the second one. Great. Meenakshi ma'am, great. Great. Great, great. Ashish ka time bata diya ekdam. 76 days. Is it 76 days, ma'am? The vacation started from 15th December to the end of Feb.
76 days, ma'am.
Sorry?
76 days, ma'am.
I wish if you can put a little more thinking into it. Is it 76? A very, very minor thing to observe here. It started from 15th December, office school. Very interesting idea. Yes, it is 77 because 15th December is also included. It has started.
77.
Yes, yes, yes. Very minor error. And here is when the students will be made to understand. Because whenever they many a times they write application, I need to go for 2 days. So from 9th to 10th of that month, they say. However, it is 9th and 10th because both days are inclusive. So these are very, very simple critical thinking based questions. Great, great, great to see you participate, teachers. I'm really very, very fascinated to be a part of this one. Now, integrated critical thinking and mental maths. We can integrate critical thinking and mental maths in one. This is for class 1. You need not to solve it, but then this is something we can put up as simple questions. I start with 5 steps in the morning. Later, I walk 15 steps more to make a total of dash steps. Further, I walk 5 more steps, which comes to a total of dash steps. Later, I hop 5 more steps. Totally, I cover dash steps. Simply, the child can be made to understand maths by simple addition in 5's multiple, which is easy to do it mentally. Now, importance of learning outcome. Why they are important? They clarify expectation. Now, whenever we have to go a long way, we need to go step by step. When we need to go step by step, every step matters, and learning outcomes are those steps. They clarify expectation, like at first level, what should happen, second level, what should happen, third level, what should happen. So this is how it helps the students to understand what they expect to achieve. Then this guide instructions helps the teachers structure lesson effectively to meet their learning goals. Enhances assessment. assessment is a big problem when it comes to assessing the child at so many levels. But then it appears to be big because we have to look into different aspects of a child. But when we consider the child as a whole, his learning as a whole, it provides measurable criteria to evaluate a student's progress. Every day is an assessment day in the class. Every day we need to find out what the child is doing, where is he improving. So learning outcomes are those measurable things that help you understand the assessment better. It encourages active learning. It motivates the student to engage meaningfully with the content. Just addition is not the concept that is to be taught. Addition, how, addition, where, addition, why, everything needs to be taught so that the child understands the application of addition in the real life. It supports differentiation, allows the teachers to adapt strategies based on different individuals' needs. We all know about different learning styles, how the students learn differently. Some are linguistic based, some are kinesthetic based, some are visual based. They are different in different learning styles. So when the teachers assesses those learning styles based and comes out with the learning outcomes based on those, he can provide to different individual learning needs of the students and make them better learners. Then align the curriculum with the standards, ensures learning lessons meet educational benchmarks. It's not just mugging, it's not just rote learning. These learning outcomes should be educational benchmarks. The child comes out with learning something, not just memorizing. Improves students' reflection. It also encourages students to track their own growth. When we let the child solve a problem and also reflect on himself, whether he has done it correctly, if yes, how he has done it, if at all there is a mistake, how it can be improved the next time. So it improves students' reflection. Now it also strengthens teachers' feedback. It helps the teachers to give targeted feedback to the students for improvement. When we are observing and assessing students on an everyday basis, we as teachers know where the student has improved, what he has improved, how much he has improved. If he has scored maybe 10, next time he scores 12, next time he scores 14, 20, whatever. So every time there's an improvement, which and same is the goal for the assessment. Every time this assessment shows where it is the improvement that is going on, and you give that feedback to the student for much better improvement. So thank you very much, teachers, for being a part of this learning process. And in the chat box, you'll be getting the feedback form. Kindly fill that form because that will be submitted as a marker of your participation, and it will help you in getting your certificate. So very soon we'll be posting a link for the feedback form. Kindly fill it. I hope everybody has got the feedback form link in the chat box.
मैम लिंक दोबारा सेंड करिएगा.
लिंक दोबारा सेंड करना. ओके सर, अभी करती हूँ सर. Sir, I have sent again.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome, sir. Welcome so much. Thank you all teachers for being so participative, so interactive. Hope to see you all next time. Please do submit this feedback form.
हाँ बताओ सर, बताना पर तो गाड़ी से घुमानी चाहिए कि सर आपसे आगे से घुमाना पड़ता है। ऑन एंड लाइक
The meeting will last for the next 5 minutes, and for that time only the link will also be available in the chat box. So I request everybody to fill it very quickly so that nobody misses out on it. Thank you all those who have filled the feedback form. The certificate will be sent to your mail IDs. And thank you very much for being so participative. Thank you for the compliment from, let me just see. Thank you, Meenakshi ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you, Apurva Pal ma'am. Thank you so much. It cannot be engaging till the time the teachers do not engage themselves. And therefore, I have my heartfelt thanks to everybody who participated in this. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, Pavika ma'am. Thank you, Ruksar ma'am. Those who have submitted their feedback form may leave the meeting. Yeah. Thank you, Venus Jacob ji. I just repeat, everybody who has filled the form, the feedback form, may leave the meeting. Thank you everyone for sending such wonderful compliments.